Welcome back to Asana class. This is class 8 of the spring series. We spent the first 7 talking about the yamas. Now we're going to talk about the niyamas. The niyamas are the second part of Patanjali's 8 stages of yoga. Niyamas are often translated as limitations. I think we would be better served by thinking about them as boundaries. Your nervous system, if we're to regulate a nervous system, it needs parameters. Our homeostasis has a range that we can survive and thrive in, and we want to know where those edges are, and yoga can help you understand that. The first niyama is shaucha. It's spelled S-A-U-C-A, but all C's in Sanskrit are a CH sound, like chakra. And there are 3 S's, and this one is the S with the diphthong underneath. So it's shaucha. And shaucha is literally cleanliness or purity. But if you think about it as exactly what your body needs, that clean, dirty, not so important, but the limitations, the boundaries for your nervous system. And yoga can help you understand that. Self-care boundaries are really important. There are 5 self-care areas that yoga will help you monitor. 1 is food, 1 is sleep, 1 is rest, 1 is relaxation, and 1 is work. So those 5, when you do the same practice every day, you can begin to notice in your breath, in your body, how the way you take care of yourself affects your body. You'll be able to feel it through somatic awareness. I know that sounds like a lot of words, but if you repeat the same practices, the same simple practices over and over again, you'll begin to experience that yourself. So let's get started on the asana class. And we'll be using some asana that help you monitor your nervous system. Come forward on the chair, same seated position. Sits bones are on the chair, knees and feet are hip width apart, and my knees are over top of my heels. I'm going to pull my feet without actually moving them to get that angle to the pelvis. And then the spine stacks up, the chin lifts a little, hands rest in your lap. Soften your feet. Don't pull once you've got the position. Take a long, gentle inhale that makes you a little taller. And on exhale, close eyes. Bring your attention to the breath in your nose. Throat. Chest. Belly, and then that little triangle between navel and the bottom of your breastbone where you can feel your diaphragm move down on inhale and up on exhale. If you can't feel it inside your body, you can use the palm of your hand and you'll probably be able to feel it. So, centering on that area. And then watch your whole torso breathe. And with your next inhale, bring eyes open. Take a moment to notice how you feel. I'm going to keep saying that often. So let's check out. I like to always start with the limitations you bring. Are your shoulders and upper back happy? Is your low back able to do the simple things that we're going to try? So we pretty much start with the same openers. Let your arms hang down. Remember, not military pose, not exaggerated slump. Let your arms hang freely from your shoulders. Exhale here, and you can turn your palms as you inhale up. You can look up too if your neck is happy. And exhale takes you down. I'll do one more. Inhale up. Exhale down. I'd like you to pause the video and try a few at your own pace and see how your shoulders feel when you're done. So take a moment to notice how your shoulders, your neck, your upper back feel. Just notice. And then let's go wide. We're still on the front edge of the chair. I want your thighs and knees to point right toward the space between your second and third toe. And then on this side, same idea, second and third toe. Your hands are on your legs, on your thighs, palms down. We're going to inhale here and then hinging only at the hips. Of course, your elbows will bend too. Down you come, straight as long as you can, and then begin to curve down. Let your head hang. And then inhale back up again. So if your back was happy, let's try using the breath to relax the back even a little more. Inhale here. Exhale forward, hinging at the hips. Straight as you can until you need to curl down. Direct your attention to your low belly and inhale. On exhale, as you soften belly, you can feel your low back begin to lengthen and soften. Direct your attention to your upper belly as you take another inhale. As you soften, exhale, soften that upper belly, and more of your back is hanging from the tailbone, getting longer. Breathe into your upper back and shoulders. And on exhale, soften shoulders, neck, let your head hang free. Remember, for safety, we take a deep breath down here before we come back up again. Inhale here. Exhale. And then inhale your way back up. Walk your feet in to hip width apart again. Remember, we're doing that because when the head is lower than the heart, you can have a bit of a rush that can make you feel a little bit dizzy when you come up. So I'm going to move the chair around and we're going to go right to doing half sun salutations. This is the pose that I was telling you about, the movement I was telling you about that really will help you to monitor your self-care. So I'm going to turn my chair around and put out my mat. You want your mat, remember, anchored by your chair. And anytime you're doing standing poses at home, I would like your chair to be up against something sturdy. You don't want the chair moving when you're using it for balance. So, face your chair. We've done this one a couple of times before, and we're going to do a series so that you can notice your own breath. So, exhale here, inhale up, and then remember, we're sticking the bottom out. We're balancing our way down. Whenever you can, hold on to the front of the chair and continue down, hinging at the tailbone. Your head might rest on the chair or hang freely. And then inhale back up. And another one. Exhale down. Inhale up. And then I'm going to exhale my arms down because I'd like you to pause the video and try a few of those at your breath pace. So, I want you to notice how you feel before we go on to the next bit. So take a moment, do a little scan, do a little scan. Okay, we're going to add the lunge. You've done this before, but as you progress through asana, pranayama, and meditation, your ability to regulate breath, i.e. regulate your nervous system, will improve. And so I want you to notice, this time maybe doing a few more than you have in the past. Remember, the criteria for how many to do is when the joy is done. You know, when the muscles aren't stretching anymore, when they're not feeling like they're building up strength. So come in, same stance. We're just going to add the lunge. Exhale here. Inhale up. Exhale, forward bend. Down you come. Hold on. Ease down. Let go of all of your air. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Bend your left knee and put your foot as far back as you can. Shoulders away from ears. Bring the front knee directly over top of the heel. The back hip will come down. And lift up so that you have a long line from the front of your foot all the way up to your face. A nice long curved line. Then, to come out of this, lie on your thigh again. Straighten that front leg. Bend the back leg and jump in, place that foot, and down you come. Inhale up. We'll do the other side. Remember, we're not symmetrical creatures, so it's going to be different. Be gentle on the second side. Exhaling your way down, soften that belly, release, let the back hang from the tailbone. Shift your weight onto your left foot, bend your right knee, and throw that foot as far back as you can. Shoulders away from ears. Front knee over your heel. Long, straight back leg. Lift up your chest, lift up your face. Bend this leg, straighten this leg, bend that leg, jump in, and hang again. Inhale up. I'm going to talk you through one more just to make sure we're all on board. So, exhale here, inhale up, exhale, forward bend, sticking the bottom out, hold on to the chair, ease down, hang from the tailbone, shift the weight onto the right foot, throw the left foot back, shoulders away from ears, front knee is over the heel, chest comes up. Lay on your front thigh, straighten that one, bend the back one, jump and place your foot at the outside of your chair, the hip width apart. Again, soften and hang. Inhale up, exhale down. Hold, hang, shift the weight onto the left foot, bend the right, throw it back. Bring that knee over the heel, shoulders away from the ears, straight back leg. Lay on the front thigh, straighten that one, bend the back one, and jump in. Inhale up. And exhale down. So, I want you to try a few of those on your own. When you're trying these, you have to keep in mind also not just how it feels in your body, but how much time you have to spend on yoga. Probably 2 or 3 minutes per pose will get the effects you want, but remember, everybody's different. So give that a try. Pause the video and give that a try. So take a moment to notice a little more effort, a little more strenuous. So in a way, you want to take your practice to the point where your breath is slightly challenged. You don't want to be breathless. Yoga does not make you breathless. So notice how you feel. Maybe you did a little more than you're used to doing. Notice how that feels. Notice how your breath is responding to the increased demand for action. Notice these things. You don't want to challenge your breath to the point where you're breathless. That's not useful at all, and it will send your nervous system into the sympathetic range. So you want to get to and stay in the parasympathetic range. So you need to know what your limits are. You need to notice your breath as it's happening and limit how many you do to how many you can do with smooth, long breath. So let's change a little bit. I'm going to move the chair away and we're going to do a practice on the floor that is, you've done it before, and it gives you an opportunity to regulate breath carefully inside of the asana practice. So make your way to the floor in any way that's comfortable for you. I'd like you to lie on your back with knees bent and feet flat. The movement we're going to do is really simple. It's just lowering your knees to one side, but we're going to notice how this affects our breath. So, first of all, let's get the low back flat. Bring one knee over your chest. Fingers are in the knee creases, not on top of the knees. Go back and forth a little bit until your low back is flat. Bring one knee down at a time, not both. Place your arms out in a T position, palms down. Walk your knees and feet together. So in this position, I'd like you to notice your breath. Count your breath like you would count thunder and lightning. You know, we hear the boom and we count 1 and 2 and 3 and count your breath like that. Just notice the breath you've got. Count inhale, count exhale. You know that physical exercise puts more demand on your breath, so your breath count might go down a little bit. But say your count is 4. This is what it would look like. I inhale here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's exhale going down, inhale coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Always pause. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So try that a few times on your own. Notice how your breath is affected by the movement. It's a pretty simple movement. It's gentle and slow. Notice how it's affected. Notice what happens. And particularly, notice where in your body you're feeling the demand for air. So try a few on your own and see what happens. So notice. Do you feel different for having modulated your breath along with your movement? That's ultimately our goal, that all movement will be modulated with breath, but it's a hard thing to synchronize. It's a hard thing to become aware of. I'd just like you to give it a try. So I'm still on my back, and we're going to add the bridge. Counting the breath with bridge is a little bit harder, so let's leave it out for today. We might pick that up at a later date. We're just going to use the bridge as a counter pose to the pose that we just did. Remember, the feet are now hip-width apart, parallel still. Arms are now alongside your body, palms down. And the first thing we do is press the feet into the mat so that the pelvis tilts. The pubic bone comes up and the low back presses against the mat. And then you release the feet and the tailbone goes down and upper back curves. Just do that a few times to get the rhythm of it. It also feels really good if you have some tension in your mid-back. And as much as we all sit, we all have a little bit, I imagine. Just back and forth a few times. So, up is your inhale, pressing the feet down and the low back against the mat is your exhale. With your next inhale, push your knees away and let your hips come up. Exhale down, one vertebra at a time, very gently. And when you feel your low back make contact, inhale again, exhale back, and then inhale up, and exhale down, one vertebra at a time. Almost feels like a little massage you give yourself. And when your low back is flat, that's when you can inhale again. So try a few of those on your own, very gently. If you're having any pain in your knees, you can take your feet a little farther away. You might not come up as high. That's okay. Knees are very, very important. We want the knees to be comfortable. Also, another trick, if the knees are giving you a hard time, is to lift your toes. Not the soles of your feet stay on the mat, but with the toes lifted, the supporting muscles for the knees from knee to foot are activated and in a better position to protect your knee integrity. So try a few of those on your own, please. So I want you to notice how your breath is. I want you to notice your body. Just do that little scan from toes to the top of your head. And for our last pose, this is a really, really simple version of a lying forward bend, if you think about it. It's a reverse forward bend. One hand in this knee crease, one hand in this. Rock it back and forth and get flat again. Your arms are the brakes. Otherwise, they don't do any work here. So with knees fairly close together, inhale away just until your arms are straight, and then let your hips bring the knees back toward the chest. We're not pulling. We're just letting gravity and the hips do the work, and then you can give a little squeeze when you're close. Then move your knees about shoulder width apart. Same idea. Inhale away until the arms are straight. Let the hips bring the knees in. And when they're close, you can give a little hug, a little pull. And then go wider still. Inhale away till the arms are straight. And then exhale, bringing the knees in toward the armpits. And when you're close, you can give a little hug. I gave you 3 variations because one of those felt the best in your back. That's the one I want you to do. Whatever's giving you the nicest stretch from tailbone, maybe even up into the chest area, whatever position. Together, a little bit apart, armpit width or a little wider than your shoulders, your torso. Try a few of those on your own. Try all 3 if you want to. See which one suits you best. So to come out of this position, bring your feet down and then take a moment to notice. Remember, to come out of a lying position, we don't want to stress our back and belly. So we're going to roll over onto our right side. One arm around the head, and then hands push up to a seated position. And then from here, you can come up on your knees. You can use your chair if you need to. Bring 1 foot forward, 2 hands on the chair, and up you come. I'm going to move my mat out of the way and bring my chair back where you can see me more clearly. Front of the chair, sits bones, hip width apart, and heels are over top of ankles. So, the best place to notice your breath and how you're responding is to deeply watch yourself breathe, and that's why we always end with the same breath awareness practice. So, find your seat, give your feet a little pull to angle your pelvis, let the spine stack up through the curves and your chin lift a little bit. Hands on your thighs. Take a long, gentle inhale that makes you a little taller. And on exhale, close eyes if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, just leave little slits where you can see your lap. Bring your attention to the breath in your nose. And on exhale, soften jaw, cheeks. Let your forehead smooth and the little muscles around your eyes slow down. Bring your attention to the breath traveling through your throat. And on exhale, soften the space between ears and shoulders. Let your neck be long and soft. Bring your attention to the breath moving your chest, front, back, and sides. And on exhale, soften that space between shoulders and arms so that the arms can be limp and soft. Then bring your attention to the breath that moves your belly. And on exhale, soften the hip-leg connection so that legs can be soft. That connection in particular can be soft. And then come into that little triangle from the bottom of the breastbone to your navel where you can watch your diaphragm go up and down. Do that. And then with your next inhale, bring eyes open. So could you get a sense of your body responding to those breaths in how it softens and relaxes? And how much quieter that breath is than the breath that you were using during the half sun salutation or while you were coming up and down in bridge? Your resting breath is an interesting indicator of your nervous system status. So please go on to the pranayama video that follows, specific for week 8. Thank you.